everyone. It's me, your horticulturist, Patricia Handbitch, Patty Plant, and my favorite helper, Little Green Sprout. And today on Grow Live, we are going to talk about growing calamondins. So I don't know if you've ever tried to grow citrus, but we have a lot of fun with it, don't we? Yeah. So growing calamondins is kind of interesting because I mean it's lovely evergreen shrub. This one of course is a dwarf variety, and you can see actually that it's starting to bloom. Oh, you maybe can't see that one. Oh yeah, there's just a little white blossom there and some little fruit starting, and of course then it's been ripening, and this fruit has been on this citrus tree for almost a year, and sometimes it takes almost a year to ripen, but as you can see it's starting to bloom again, which is pretty wonderful because they're a great house plant to grow. So she's here as a taste tester, so we're just gonna take one of the fruit off and we're gonna let Little Green Sprout peel it and do a little taste test. So and while she's doing that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about growing citrus, and in particular calamondins. So, oh, isn't that nice? So can I just borrow this for a second? So you can see that as the fruit is ripe, the skin is quite thin, and oh, it's got beautiful smell. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Anyway, you keep peeling because we want to see when you taste it. So calamondins are a hybrid. They're a cross between a citrus is for edibility. It's juicy, isn't it? And they're crossed with a kumquat, which helps with hardiness. So depending on where you're from, it will not survive outside in the winter. All my tropicals go outside on the prairies, and we're zone 2, 2A, 2B, somewhere depending on where you are in the province. And of course down in Ontario, zone 5, and as you go further on, oh, it's really juicy. Can I help you? So you can see that it's pretty juicy, and any kind of fruit you grow is quite amazing when you pick it off the tree because it's spectacular. All right, so I'm going to give you a little section. Oh, there's a couple of seeds in there, which is kind of interesting. So here you go. Have a little try there. What do you think?
Very, very sour.
They're actually great for marmalades, and my sisters who used to like Kenny Rogers when they had a roastery, she used to say that their chicken was so good because it had calamondin juice in it. So there's lots of recipes that use them. It's kind of a fun thing to grow. It is evergreen. It will flower and fruit intermittently. However, because it's being grown inside, you need to pollinate. So you need to be the bee and pollinate the flowers so that the fruit will set, because as you know, the birds and the bees, which we'll go into another time, but it's important to pollinate a lot of fruit-bearing plants when you're inside. The flowers are extremely fragrant. The leaves smell like fresh oranges. Even the fruit has a beautiful aromatic scent. And when they're ripe, they may not be completely orange, but you can see how thin that skin is. That's an indication that they're ripe. So if you look at this one here, it's getting quite orange as well. So I think this one's probably ready to pick too, but maybe we'll wait until we're going to cook with it, right? What else can we say? This one's in about an 8-gallon pot. It's probably about 5 years old. It's been flowering and fruiting for at least a year. It likes to be kept evenly moist. So do water it deeply and thoroughly. It's important that it's well drained because it doesn't like to have wet feet. What else can we say? I don't know, you should be growing it, right? Because they're a lot of fun. We can talk about growing lemons and limes as well on another segment. But do try to grow some calamondins. You can grow them from seed, but just be warned that if you're trying to grow something from seed, quite often the seeds may not be viable, and if they do start to grow, it may take much longer for them to flower than it would if you buy a mature plant. They are available at your favorite greenhouses. depending on, you know, time of year and availability. They are mostly imported from of course, the southern states, and they are a lot of fun to grow. When you are growing it inside, you will need supplemental lighting. Otherwise, there just isn't enough light in our homes, even in a south-facing window or a west-facing window. So, anything to add? You want to have another taste? No? Anyway, folks, do join us every Wednesday at 1 p.m. for Grow Live, and anytime at your leisure on the YouTube channel Grow. If you like what you see, then please subscribe, and if you have any topics you would like us to cover, then drop us a line and we will certainly do our best to cover whatever topics you need to have covered as you're growing. So, until next time, see you, be happy, stay safe, and let's get growing. Okay, folks, see you next time. Bye now.